Today, we need to have a serious conversation about something that's shaking the entire video game industry. It's not a rumor, it's not a theory, it's not trailer hype, it's reality. GTA 6 has been delayed again, and this time the reason is much deeper than polishing, extra development time, or final fixes. We are facing a possible internal crisis at Rockstar Games involving mass layoffs, accusations of repression of union movements, public protests, a drop in the company's stock value, and an internal environment described by employees as tense and inhumane. Meanwhile, the public looks at the calendar and sees the release date getting further and further away. Hi everyone, I am Vice, and today we're going to analyze why the GTA 6 delay happened, what happened inside Rockstar to cause this to explode, the impact of this crisis on the company, and, most importantly, what might happen to the game from now on. So take a deep breath, get comfortable, and come with me, because this is much bigger than just a postponement. It all started when Bloomberg and IGN confirmed something that until then had only circulated as a rumor. More than 30 employees were suddenly fired from Rockstar Games. The official justification from Take-Two Interactive, the company that owns Rockstar, was direct and harsh, serious misconduct and leak of confidential information. But the story didn't end there. In fact, it began there. Hours after the announcement, UK unions released a completely different version of the facts. According to them, these dismissals had nothing to do with leaks or misconduct. The real reason was union busting. That is, Rockstar had fired employees who were organizing to form an internal union. These workers were fighting for more humane working conditions, less abusive working hours, clear internal policies, respect for mental health salaries commensurate with the level of demand. And this makes sense when we remember that Rockstar has previously been denounced for extreme crunch, exhausting workdays, and psychological pressure to meet deadlines. In fact, the company's co-founder, Dan Houser, upon leaving Rockstar, even stated that the internal environment could be dark and suffocating during certain production periods. In other words, there was a history, but then something unexpected happened. On November 6, 2025, employees, former employees, family members, and even fans of the GTA franchise went to the doors of the Rockstar Games studios in Edinburgh and Take-Two in London to protest. They held signs with phrases such as, "Rehire our colleague," "Respect your developers." Behind GTA 6, there are human beings. Others carried messages laden with bitter humor, references to Rockstar's own games. And despite the playful tone of some, the message was clear. The problem is serious, and it's no longer being hidden. A fan site known as GTA Base went to the location and interviewed some of those fired. One of them said, "2 of us had our lives turned upside down. People on medical or paternity leave received dismissal emails without prior notice." Another reported, "They called me into a routine meeting. At the end of the conversation, they told me I was dismissed. No proof. No explanation. They just told me to leave." And perhaps the most striking phrase was, "The public sees the final product, but they don't see the weight, the exhaustion, the sleepless nights." Supporting those who were laid off is supporting the game you love. That was the point where the situation ceased to be just an internal problem. Now it was global, public, uncontrollable. On the same night as the protests, during Take-Two's financial meeting, the bombshell dropped. GTA 6 was officially delayed again. The new date, November 19th, 2026. Let's recap the dates just so you understand the magnitude of this. Event date Trailer 1 announces GTA 6 for late 2025 and December 2023. Trailer 2 postpones to May 26th, 2026 in May 2025, now postponed to November 19, 2026 in November 2025. In other words, we are facing the second postponement in 2025 alone, and the global reaction was instantaneous. GTA 6 became the most talked about topic on Twitter. The announcement surpassed 100 million views. The community was caught between shock, anger, and frustration, and obviously, Take-Two's stock plummeted, more than 9% drop on the Nasdaq. Estimated loss, $3.2 billion evaporated in less than 24 hours. This is no small matter. This is a real crisis. Jason Schreier, one of the most respected and most feared journalists in the industry, commented, "This delay was already anticipated internally months ago. It's not directly related to the layoffs, but the internal crisis could impact development going forward." He reinforced that the game's content is already complete. The current phase is optimization. The goal is to avoid another Cyberpunk 2077. Schreier also warned, employee morale is low. If this continues, further delays may occur. Here we enter the most worrying part. If the team weaken, the game may suffer further delays. And yes, there are already rumors circulating about a delay to 2027. Rockstar is at a critical point. The community is disappointed, investors are putting pressure on them, developers are exhausted. So, what do they need to do? Simple. Show something. And fast. Be it Trailer 3 gameplay, a technical preview, a making of, or even an exclusive event. But they need to regain control of the narrative, because right now, those who dominate the narrative are the community, the press, the unions, the laid-off employees, and the financial market, and that's a corporate nightmare. GTA 6 is, without a doubt, the most anticipated game of the last decade. But behind cinematic trailers, memes, hype, and theories, there are people who work sleepless nights, give up family, health, and rest, suffer creative and psychological pressure, are replaced without warning when they can no longer cope. And now, these people have decided to speak up. And the industry is listening. The question remains, will Rockstar learn from this, or will they try to sweep the dust under the rug, as they always have? And more importantly, will this crisis delay the game again? We'll be following everything, because this story is far from over. Comment below, do you think Rockstar is really in crisis? Or do you believe that all this will pass and GTA 6 will still be the greatest game in history? I want to know your opinion. And of course, if you want to keep up with every detail, every leak, update, trailer, and rumor, subscribe now, because here you won't miss anything.